Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I am painting a portrait of a friend's friend named Jaden. He is a colorful soul, and that's why the background is going to be very colorful. I am painting with acrylic paint, and some of the acrylic paint will be metallic. So here's a time lapse of the process, and I hope you enjoy. Fun fact, I actually got paid for this portrait, which came just in time during the time I was unemployed from a regular job. So that helped a lot, and thank you so much. I am using a mixture of my good quality acrylic paint from Academy and Liquitex, as well as craft paint from Apple Barrel, and some metallic paint from Master's Touch, I think. I will use my Liquitex slow drying medium, especially on the facial parts. Oh my, that does not look right. Ugh. A little dabadoo of blue, and away we go with the rest of the painting. The blue you see me use is not metallic, but the purple, pink, and orange are metallic. I think it's best to use metallic paint over a base paint of acrylic that is not metallic, so the colors show up better, because this metallic paint is kind of transparent. Here you can see how shiny the canvas is from the metallic paint. It stays this shiny even after it dries. Here you see that I have made a white outline of Jaden, so his colors can pop out and look more natural, and also so I can draw the details more clearly. There are a lot of details in this portrait, and I think this is the most detailed portrait that I've ever done. It was fun until the last part was kind of tedious. But I had to finish it, and it took me 10 days to finish this one. At this point, you see me use white paint, which is actually gesso, to help clean up the lines and make the white part more opaque so I can make it look better. Using an eraser on dry paint is no good, and using an eraser on wet paint is definitely no bueno. Please don't do that because it'll smudge and it's really hard to fix. So gesso is the best eraser you can use for when you're painting over pencil. And now we go in with the color paint, which is blue right now. And I think it's a good idea to start with a long handled brush and hold it from, towards the end. It helps block in the colors a little faster, and you don't have to worry about getting the details accurate at this point. This would be considered the underpainting, and then later you can focus on the details. You can use the same brush or a smaller brush. In this case, I'm using the same brush. I like to use the same brush for as long as I can until I feel it is absolutely necessary to change the brush to get the effect that I want. In this case, I want to get a realism effect with a little bit of a painterly effect as well. When I paint, I tend to focus on making it look realistic as possible. My instinct is just to go for realism, and it does end up looking pretty real, but I guess you could say by default, if you look close, you could still see some of the brush strokes. But I really wanted to at least make the background look more painterly. Painting realism, trying to make it look as realistic as possible or as you want it. You have to put a lot of detail and time into that detail to make sure it looks the way you want it to. I spent a lot of time on this bracelet to make it look 3D and to get the texture and the color right. Make it look like it was like leather or pleather, and then with the metal buckles. You can tell it's an orange bracelet, but looking closely, you will see that it is not a flat orange. Gotta get some dark oranges in there and some yellow for the highlights, and save the pure white for the highlights of the metal. At this point, you see me putting on the skin tone. And as you will see, parts, well, the arm, the hand, and the face do not match each other, which is kind of how it is in the picture, but later on you'll see me actually match each section so it all does look more cohesive. It was a trial and error process, but I get to where I want it to be eventually. Now it's time to paint the rat. Fun fact, I love rats. They are so cute, they are so smart and cuddly. I used to have pet rats when I was younger in my early 20s. Maybe someday I'll have them again, but currently I have a rabbit, which is kind of like a giant rat, but not as smart, but very cuddly, but kind of like a cat, but because like he only wants to be cuddled on his terms. Now it's time to fix the skin tone. These are the colors I'm using, just the basic primaries, and just mix them together to get the right skin tone that I'm looking for. So the white background helps me see the skin tone more clearly, in hopes to get the skin tone more accurate, but also keeping in mind that I want to make the skin tones match each other on all body parts so the painting looks more balanced. That's my little boy Ryder in the background, just watching his shows while I paint, but I will stop painting whenever he needs me. If you've seen my previous video of me painting Mozart, you'll see him in the background too. I like having some company when I paint. I am so lucky to have a very well-behaved kid. He's very sweet and very smart, and he listens to me most of the time. Of course, he's still a kid. So here you see me putting some red paint in a little tiny cup, and I am going to mix some white, and I'm doing this because I need to get the right color pink for the hair, because I don't have an actual pink for it except for the metallic, but it's still too transparent, and I don't want the hair to be metallic. It's gonna take a lot of trial and error, but I get to the color I want eventually. So after mixing all that, I actually find that I do have a bottle of paint that matches the hair accurately, but I still will use what I mixed to put in highlights and dimension. This person loves Hello Kitty and has Hello Kitty tattoos and Hello Kitty buttons and a whole collection in his bedroom of Hello Kitty. And I have never drawn so many Hello Kitties before in my life. Uh, it was fun. Here you see me use a fine point pen or slash marker, and so I could get the details in there because a brush was not doing it for me. But I should not have used this particular marker because it's water-based, and if it gets wet, it will smudge. So towards the end of this video, you will see me use some Fix-A-Taff spray, which makes the painting waterproof, even if there is a water-soluble substance underneath. This rat does not actually belong to Jaden. It was actually a friend that he was just visiting, and he just picked it up and somebody took a picture of him. And this was the picture that I chose out of all of the other pictures that they showed me because I thought it represented this person the best, I guess. Even though I have not met this person before, he received this painting. But I did meet him and he loves it. But I just feel so good when people love my paintings. And kind of weird when it's a picture of them that somebody else paid me to paint for them. But it made his day, and I'm very, very glad that he likes it. At this point, I realized that the water-based marker was not going to work, so I switched to a very fine tipped paintbrush, and I make it even finer by using my scissors to clip off part of it. So it worked out, but there still are parts of the painting, especially in the buttons, where the water-based marker is still there. So I do decide to put the Fix-A-Tiff over it later. I think also the reason why I liked this picture with him with the rat is because most people, or all people, are never more genuine than when they're with animals. They can truly be themselves, let their guard down, because they know animals will not judge you. They just want to love you. Unless they're a crocodile and they want to eat you. Please stay away from crocodiles. They are not puppies. They're not swamp puppies, okay? They will bite your head off, okay? Thank you for listening to this PSA. am finally done. Time to sign it. Yay. It's always so satisfying when the time comes to sign it. Sometimes I still touch it up after I sign it, but this is finished. Except for the fix-a-tap, which you'll see later. Hey, look, it's me and my bunk bed behind me that I actually sleep on because I live in a studio apartment. Anyway, what do you think of this painting? I'm proud of it. I like it. I hope you do too. Now to go outside and fix it with the fix-a-tap. As you can see, I taped some paper onto it to the outside because I don't want the fix-a-tap to go over the background, which is metallic, because I want to keep that metallic shine on it. This fix-a-tap might make it a little matte, and I'm sorry for the smudge on the lens. It's paint. I do get it off, and you will not see that in the next video. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this painting process. I hope you enjoyed the painting. I hope you learned something. Please be good to each other. Stay away from crocodiles and alligators. And I hope you have a lovely day. See ya!